What's going on, y'all? You are here for another episode of Conversations with the Media Prince. And today I have a dynamic guy next to me who is a part of curating culture. He is definitely a tastemaker. He is helping push the music industry scene here to the next level. And everybody wants to sit in this guy's chair because he got the damn juice. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Fadam. How are you, brother? Fadam got the juice, man.
How are you?
I'm feeling good. I get to finally have you in the chair, man. You are, I must just say, what you have created here in the DMV, of course, has transcended way beyond here, of course. Mm-hmm. But what you have created here and the role that you have taken on as really pioneering how we go to that next plateau in the music industry is freaking stellar, man.
Appreciate it.
And I must say, I get excited when I get to see, because I always say we're in a place where we got to champion the champion. So when I see someone that is pushing the needle forward, it's exciting to me because this is now somebody who is getting ready to open a door here for somebody else to get in position. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Fadam got the juice. Now, before we go way back into your story, catch us up what you're currently working on, because you're doing a lot, brother.
I am, dog. Let's see. Where do I start? I started a label.
Hey.
Only Way Is Up.
Hey.
I'm not gonna lie. It's like a label management. I haven't decided what all I'm gonna do with it yet, right? But I do know I have an artist, but I don't even know if I'm gonna keep her.
Gotcha.
I never wanted a label. I never wanted to do management because I just know dealing with artists is a headache. Like definitely, like when you hands on and it's your money and all that, it's just like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's like, I don't know. Like we just released a record. It's doing good right now. A lot of people like it, but dealing with the actual artist is a headache.
Yeah.
Like there's certain stuff that she don't get, she don't want to do, and it's like, we fight, constantly fighting. I ain't got time for that. Like it just, I got too much of my own shit going on. Yeah. And it's like, if you don't want to do this, you don't understand right now, then you know what? Let me just let you go do whatever you feel like you need to do for you. And I'll continue doing what I gotta do for me. And maybe we can revisit this in the future, like when your head is in a better space. So I got that going on. Of course, I'm new at 93.9 WKYS.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. I still gotta like really lock in and find enough time to do that. I do have I know what time slot I'm gonna be on. I can't say it yet, but I gotta get all my training and all that stuff down pat.
That's
gonna
be
comfortable.
Easy.
Yeah, that's gonna be easy. Also, I have like a leadership role now at DTLR.
Hey.
Yeah, with the DTLR Radio and DTLR Entertainment now.
Makes sense.
And I'm kind of like helping, do some new things over there and make sure like we at the forefront of things going on. So it's a lot of good stuff going on right now.
It's a busy man right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Busy man.
So take us back. When did you even want to even step your foot into the entertainment industry?
Man, 19, 20 years old, long time ago at this point. I ended up interning for Unruly, which was a division of DTLR. So this is before they had DTLR Radio. But Sean Caesar, who manages Quicksilver, he got a lot of stuff going on. But they were the company that was selling the CDs and the music and the DVDs inside of DTLR.
Got you.
So whenever you saw a big in-store at DTLR, it was Sean Caesar and Unruly. They had their partnership. So I interned for him. And at that time, I was like, oh, this is dope. So, and mind you, I was a small fry at the time interning, but I loved what I was doing, and I saw the access, I saw just the flying out of town and just knowing people for business, making money, I saw a bigger picture of this whole thing. So I was like, man, and I think we had some things we didn't agree with. I messed something up. It was something I didn't get taught how to do at the time. And I did it incorrectly, and they came down on me hard at the time. And I'm just like, I didn't know how to do it. Nobody taught me how to do it. So what ended up happening was we was in this room, and we all kind of going back and forth, and I stopped the room, and I was like, look, and I'm like 22 years old. I was like, look, how about this? I'm going to step away from this. Like, we can just pause this relationship where it's at. Let's step away, and maybe later on in life, we can come back and revisit this. You know what I mean? I don't want to burn the bridge with y'all. I think it's dope. I think I'm dope. Well, I don't really know how to fully do this right now where y'all be happy. And y'all are not really in a position to teach. Y'all want somebody that already know how to do it. So let me go out here and learn what I need to learn. And maybe we can kind of figure this out later on in life. Everybody agreed, cool. And then fast forward, DJ Reyes, which is one of my best friends, he had a show on there on DTLR Radio by this time. And he was like, yo, come be on my show. You got some motion on the internet. Come do this show with me. And was this co-host for a while, and then kind of just the rest is history, man. It was just like, that during that time, man, it was just learning, building relationships, me knowing what I wanted to do. And actually, I didn't fully know what I wanted to do, but it was a thing of, yo, where can I find my lane in this game? And where do you find your lane in this game without going against your morals and integrity, without being thirsty, without being whack? You know, how do you do this? You know, like, how do you learn from the OGs and the vets? How do you get them to embrace you without calling them every day asking for an opportunity? How do you build that relationship? So I was big on trying to figure that part out, and I figured that shit out. And once I figured out with one person, figured out with the next, figured out with the next, and it was just like, it's just a repeated cycle. And to be honest with you, I'm still doing that shit till this day.
I look at that as alignment too, where everything just allows you.
It is.
Especially when you discover a new facet of yourself too within this industry. So when did you know, like, what was that exact moment that you can remember where you realized, damn, I do got the juice?
So I used to throw parties. Before all this shit happened, I threw parties in college. So I kind of like, I had the juice in college. Like, I always was cool with a bunch of females. I was cool with the fellas. I could get people in the room. So shit, that was early. Like, this, just the party promoting days and just being able to move around like I did. And mind you, I was throwing parties in Baltimore. Then I moved to DC and I started throwing parties in DC. So I was able to fill a room in DC, and I was able to partner with different people. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, you solid. You know what I mean? People rock with you. So, and that was like the majority of my 20s. So I was just like, oh, all right, bet. And when I moved back to Baltimore was when I realized, like, the party game changed, the landscape changed. I realized, like, yo, do you still want to just do parties? Or do you got something else that's like a bigger calling for you? Like, what do you pivot to? How do you pivot? Like, make that part make sense. So I knew I had the juice, but it was like, I need to figure out a new way to, use this juice. And when Reyes called and asked me to do the show with him, because he already had it going. So he was just like, yo, I don't want to do this industry stuff. Like, I don't want to do the industry gossip and rundown. You can have that. Because back then I used to run my page like a blog. So I was like academics before academics. So I was like, I remember one time it was an iCloud leak, and they leaked like a bunch of nudes of like, it was like Khloe Kardashian, it was Tiana Taylor, it was Black China, it was a bunch of people. Yo, I would post all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was wild. And they would take my page, and I would have to start a new one. And like, I always stayed in the middle and just know what's going on. So like, I think at the time when Reyes called, Drake and Meek Mill was beefing, and I was just on top of everything that was going on. Like, I knew where it started. I knew who did what I knew. It was just like, and I knew a couple people, so I was getting inside information. So it was like, all right, cool. And I'm on Twitter paying attention to some of the conversations, and I'm bringing it to Instagram. So it was just like, oh, all right, bet. So he was just like, yo, come on the show. So when he came on, but I had to pivot even from that part because I ended up being around some artists, and they was uncomfortable knowing I was a blogger and could possibly leak information. As a man, it didn't feel good for me. So I think me and Mark Henry went to New York one time for a video shoot with Lil' Kim and Fabulous. And they looked at me and was just like, yo, don't leak this footage of this video. And my mom, I'm like, dog, it's Lil' Kim, who cares? Like, this is way past her prom at this point. Like, it's Lil' Kim video, who cares? So it was like, all right, cool, but I ain't like that. And then there was one time I was with Nelly in Jersey, and I had asked for a picture, or my homegirl loved Nelly, so she FaceTimed me because she knew I was with him, and I was like, yo, say what's up to my homegirl real quick, she love you. And he felt uncomfortable about the shit, and the people that was with us, like, he ended up telling them, so they was like, yeah, don't bring him around no more, like, that made them uncomfortable. So after that, it was just like, all right, I don't think I want to do that blogging shit, because I never want nobody to feel uncomfortable around me. But that, as a man, that shit didn't feel good.
But no, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because as you can see, we're in that arena where we're seeing bloggers come up in that, and they forget the other aspect of you could potentially get on, and you might have to potentially now do business with these people that you are talking about. So no one talks about that disassociating part where you need to actually add like a commercialization on what you're doing. And I'm glad you said something like that, because that's going to allow a lot of bloggers that are, of course, doing it for the clickbait moment and just trying to get their name on, but don't realize this could actually take me somewhere. And how do I do business or go in these rooms with these brands and they can't trust me?
They can't trust you, and on top of that, you can't fully go outside comfortably. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be at any event, or you got to move around with security. It's just like, I don't want that for myself. Like, at that point, it's just like you see, like, we talk about it with academics all the time. Like, he really just be in his house, streaming, drinking, like, wilding out. Realistically, I know he got bread. Homie ain't happy. Because you worked as hard as you did, and your name is what it is, but you can't comfortably go outside and just enjoy life. Like, that shit has to feel horrible. Yeah. Like, I don't want that for myself. I've been a social person my whole life. At the point I can't go outside and just enjoy life, I'll be pissed. Yeah. Like, you looking over your shoulder because you didn't say something about somebody, or you didn't put somebody's business out there. Now, nah, I'm not going to do that. It don't feel good.
And what was that shift like for you when you realized, okay, I'm taking this serious and I'm going to really realize how I can not only rebrand myself, but also push a new narrative there that kind of like puts me in the good graces?
Yo, it was difficult because people still view you how they want to view you. Yeah. You know, so they can't unsee what they see with you, right? So you're changing, and you got to get these people to see you in a different light. So it's definitely a struggle, but me, like, I got mentors, man. I got mentors, I got OGs, I got veterans, I have real friends. So I have also real friends that have nothing to do with the music industry or the entertainment industry at all. So a lot of them I can talk to, confide in, and just have them conversations. You know, like, they might not know nothing about this industry, but they just know life shit. So we're able to have that conversation and discuss, like, dog, why don't you try this instead, or why don't you do this? And then when it comes to my mentors and OGs, they keep it a buck with me. Hey. Yeah. My mentors, they always want to keep it a buck with me. And, you know, like, the first record, so one of the other things I do is I work records, right? So the labels hire me and consult with me to make sure a song pop. Like, so there's a song out, and they like, yo, we need this joint to go crazy in the club. We need to go crazy on radio. And they'll call me and be like, yo, we need you. Cool. We work out what we got to work out. Bet. So what happens from that point is you go crazy. Now, the first call I ever got, my mentor, his name Wilt Wallace, he's the vice president over at Columbia Records. He called me and was like, yo, I think you ready. I got a project for you. I'm like, what's up? He was like, yo, Wale, pole dancer. At the time, Wale was cold. Like, Wale wasn't really, he wasn't popping as he was no more. Yeah. But he was still Wale, of course. Yeah. But he was like, yo, listen, we got to get this Wale thing back rocking like how Wale, we know Wale can rock. At the time, me and Wale had like a bad history of going back and forth on Twitter, Instagram, shit like that. And when he came at me with it, I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Like, me and Wale done had bad words on social media. He was like, man, fuck all that. Like, that's the old you. We getting out of that. I know you can get this to work. I know you know a bunch of DJs. I know people fuck with you. Like, let's get it popping. And then he was just like, I got faith that you can get this done. So he told me what the deliverables were, and I was like, all right, bet. And I was like, yo, can I grab some help? And he was like, I don't care what you do. And he was like, I'm doing business with you. So this is your name on the line. This is you rebranding yourself. This is your image. You get this right, it can mean a lot for your life and your career. So I was just like, all right, bet. I called Brissy up. Brissy was a bottle girl at the club at that time. Mm-hmm. She was at Bliss. I knew I did not want to go to Bliss at all. So I was just like, yo, I got to play for us. Maybe a look for both of us. It might get you out the club, because she didn't want to be a bottle girl, because Brissy's smart and talented as fuck. So it was like, yo, this could be a look for both of us. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, bet. Let's rock. And we just ran it up. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. Mm. Yeah, that was kind of like the beginning. And just kept going.
Kept going. Is there pressure with that? Would they see your results now that you always have to show and rise to the occasion? Is there pressure when they immediately like, we gotta go to Fadam?
Is there pressure? Yeah, it's pressure, right? Because every song is not going to yield the same result, because every song really ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like having to disappoint people. I'm big on that shit. Like, being the bad guy is not a strong suit for me. I don't like that at all. Like, I don't like my name being played with. I don't like anybody saying, you know, Fadam did me wrong and nothing like that. So I'm big on that part of it. So at any given time where I'm pushing a record and it's whack and they didn't get the results they thought they was gonna get with me, I'm disappointed in myself, because now I'm like, damn. But at the end of the day, like, every song ain't the song, you know. So once they realize that, you get the feedback tell you what it is. Like, yeah, they playing it, but the crowd ain't moving. They don't really like it. It's just like, you still gotta just try to just get them people to see it through. But yeah, definitely pressure.
What when it comes to that though, what are you paying attention to when you're having to break a record for an artist?
You really, for me, you paying attention to how the crowd responds to it. Like, you really just looking at, are they just standing around looking crazy, or is it a few people that's still kind of moving their body to it? Like, are they still like kind of like, all right, I like this, like, this is cool, like, I can rock with this. So that part is the tricky part early on. Like, for example, I remember Sweetie, My Type. We broke that record. When that record first started, like, the people weren't moving because they didn't know what it was. By like the third or fourth week, I remember I was at Park one Sunday. K.I. was DJing with my brother, and he played it, and it went crazy in there. So like, you were able to see what it looks like from start to finish when you're breaking a record. I mean, shit, even with the Wale record, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we first was working pole dancer, it's like they wasn't really fully moving. I remember Wale saying to me, like, man, I need some shit like it's popping. Like, he said it to me in a DM, like, man, I need some shit like it's popping. I need to see people moving. And I was mad when he first said it to me, but I respected what he was saying, because he was right. Like, I think it was a brunch video, and they was sitting down eating, and I'm like, he right. So I knew I had to work harder. So that's the part where the pressure comes. But Wale saying that to me directly was like, all right, cool. So after that, we made sure it just went crazy. And I remember, it was on this day. Damn, that's crazy. It was this day 7 years ago. Was it 7 years ago? Yeah, I think it was 7 years ago. This day 7 years ago, we went to, because this is International Women's Day, right? So KYS had a show at the Fillmore with Sweetie, Light Skin Keisha, and Megan Thee Stallion. And afterwards, they did an after party at Megan Thee Stallion at Stadium. And I made sure they played it in there. It was either Schemes or 5'9". One of them played it. And Megan was in there. Megan was on the record. The joint went crazy. And it was just like, and he was like, this is the type of shit I like to see.
Hey. So what has been your favorite, so far, what has been your most favorite person to interview, and what's been your most favorite song to push?
Favorite song to push. Favorite song to push, I think, for me, was either Boss. He's with Dreamville. Shout out to Boss. He had a record called The Jackie. That was fire. That one or BRS Cash. He had a song called Spend It. That was a dude that got the Throat Baby song. Mm-hmm. He had a song called Spend It. That was fun too. So between them two records, because I think with those two, I know with Boss for sure, I was working records by myself by that time. At some point in time, Brissy she moved on to something else. So I was working records by myself. So once I started working records strictly by myself, it was a different challenge. But that Boss record meant a lot because I knew they didn't know who Boss was like that. I knew DJs didn't know who he was. So getting the support from the DJs on an artist they don't really know like that is tough. Although J. Cole was on a record, it's like, all right, this still going to be a tough one. But the DJs went crazy. That record went up. From that, my relationship with Dreamville got really close. And like I'm super, super tight with that whole Dreamville camp because they know they'll Fadam put us in work. You know, if we need something, we go to him.
Hey.
What was the second part?
Who was your favorite? Who's been your favorite interview so far?
Damn, that's always a tough question when people ask me that shit. Favorite interview so far? It gotta be, for me, it had to be G Herbo.
Okay.
So G Herbo went viral, right? But the dope thing about the Herbo interview was I had been around Herbo for years. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my mentors, Clint, like do a lot of shows, so he would book him a lot. My brother Jay News, him and Herbo, that's like his little brother. I would come across Herbo in Chicago. So Herbo would see me, like we would see each other a lot. So whereas he see me, Fadam was good. And he didn't really know I did interviews and all that. And I never said it to him. I never tried to ask for one. I never tried, because whenever I saw him, I was always in a different mode. So he didn't know I had all that going on. So when he came to DMV and I had to do all this stuff with him, and he was just like, oh, I didn't even know you was doing all this. And I was just like, yeah. He was just like, nigga, we could have been knocked this out. So when we sat and we did the interview, it was a real, like, it was just two homies kicking it. And like he kind of was just sitting there talking. So that joint was cool. And like he showed love in the interview. So that was dope. So it's between Herbo and I just did Monoleo. So the Monoleo interview is probably definitely my favorite. I'm gonna go up there and say it. I met Monoleo 5 years ago on the Humble. Locked in with her, was supporting her, just showing her love, right? She followed me back then. She never unfollowed me till this day. Monoleo still follows me. She was just like, yo, I'm going on tour. I want to make sure we get an interview in. She told her team, we got to do an interview with Fadam. Like, she ain't do an interview with nobody else in the market. She was like, yo, we got to do Fadam. But in that interview, one of the first things she said was, like, yo, she gave me my flowers off the rip. Artists typically don't do that shit. You know, like, artists are super selfish. So she gave me my flowers off the rip, and she was just like, yo, not even just give me my flowers, but she was like, I constantly see you supporting artists. I constantly see you pushing people. I constantly see you just showing love. And that shit is dope. And it's just like you one of the genuine people that's out here. That to me was refreshing because I try to make sure I'm always genuine and always lead with just trying to show love and support. You know, my biggest thing is, how can I help somebody? Like, that's what, before anything else, is even if I want a relationship with you, it's just like, how can I, like, what does Media Prince care about that I can support that he got going on, that it makes sense?
Facts, you definitely support, man. That's definitely something real.
I got the relationships I got just off of genuine love and support. I'm in the position I'm in off of genuine love and support. The people that speak highly of me is off of genuine love and support, but it's also because I work hard.
Exactly.
I deliver. So it's a lot of that shit. And I hate to see, like, when there's people around me that's not moving the same way. I fucking hate that. Because it's like, you know the relationships I got. Right. And you're watching, you like, damn, you know everybody. You can just call anybody. And at the same time, it's like, yo, how do you think I got these relationships? Facts. Like, I didn't show love and support to a lot of people. So now I got something going on. they want to show that love back.
Of course.
Yeah, so.
Of course, but it's gonna be it's gonna have to be a learning lesson to some people. They're just gonna have to watch you take your success somewhere with someone else and watch you take their opportunity and blow up, and they just gonna have to eat they what is it, eat crow? They're gonna have to eat crow.
Listen, and the crazy thing is, like for what it's worth, I think Shorty is a star.
Right.
I just don't think she believes in the process, and she don't believe in the stardom, and she's still young too. So I think she'll wake up one day and realize, like, all right, I missed the opportunity, but then she'll smart. I think she is smart enough that she'll smart enough, or she could get stuck. Because one thing I keep saying about the artists in Baltimore is, there's a lot of talent in Baltimore, but niggas just not doing business right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just not playing the game right. So a lot of artists just get stuck.
How was it for you to bridge that gap between the DMV market and the DC market and the Baltimore market?
Man, it's a lot of miles on my car. First of all, on every car I've ever had, I've burnt out. I went to college with a lot of y'all. If I'm being honest, the people when I got I went to Coppin State. And I spent a lot of time in Morgan too. For some reason, I just got closer with the DC PG people. Like, I don't know what it was, but I was closer to them. And I found myself just spending a lot of time out here. I admired that most of them came from good families. A lot of them were smart. A lot of them had, they were really cultured. I thought it was dope. And it was a thing of just learning. Like, even when I first got into learning go-go, it was just like, yo, this joint sounds horrible. But then, like, when I went to my first go-go, it was like, oh, I see. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up loving go-go after that. So it's one of them things where, it was just a matter of just really genuinely wanting to learn. Wanting to learn and wanting to educate yourself on how these people are. And the same thing with being in Baltimore, because I'm originally from New York. So when I first got to Baltimore, it was the same thing. It was just like, I don't know. But once you put in your mind, like, I want to learn these people. I want to be able to relate to them. I want to, see why they love Old Bay on everything. You know what I mean? Like, what's this big thing about mumbo sauce? Like, what the hell is this? Like, you want to learn. And it's that thing of when you want to learn, it open your minds up, and once your mind is open, then you can really like enjoy it and just really tap in. So once you figure out y'all like this, and you going back up and forth down the highway, and just like, yo, y'all really not that different. Let's figure out how to make a way to get everybody on the same page and rocking.
I was going to ask you that. Is there a difference between the entertainment industry in the DC area versus in the Baltimore area?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think DC people have more access. They've had more success in the industry. Y'all had the Wale's, the Logic, the Tanks, the Genuine, the Maya. Like, y'all have the Chuck Browns, the Big G's, the Trey UCB, even, with Wale, the whole museum team, really being the, catalyst building that shit early on. So y'all had proof of concept out here. Baltimore doesn't have it as much. It's not as many as success stories. Now, Baltimore do have a lot of people in the industry that have done great. Your Kevin Lyles, your Takeo Bangs, your DK the Punisher. He actually just produced Kalani Folded record.
Wow, that's major.
You got Jay Oliver that's had his hands on big records, December Moon. You have a lot of people that's got some wins in Baltimore. Don't get it twisted, but DC is by far. Then you got people in DC like Dre the Mayor, whose hand is in on everything in entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of them guys, and y'all just have more proof of concept and more wins on the board. So it's definitely been more of a thing out here where it's easier. I think also because like y'all get the business. The labels typically always came to DC because DC a top 10 market. So you got to come here. So even when I got the call to do radio, a lot of people felt like, I remember Jay Hill ended up saying, Jay Hill made a post and he was like, it's crazy a nigga got to go to DC to do radio when it's a radio station right in Baltimore. A lot of people thought he was taking a shot at me. but he wasn't taking a shot at me. He was taking a shot at the team in Baltimore on 92Q. But the part that that people don't realize is I prefer DC radio because DC a top 10 market. Like when you say, yo, you on radio in DC, yo, that's a I light up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, you on radio in DC? Oh, you got access in DC? Oh, you're somebody in DC? That's different than saying, yo, I'm in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And not that I'm trying to diss Baltimore, but
yeah, I get it.
When you move around the industry, that's just how I look. Like, I gotta sell niggas on how dope Baltimore is, whereas though they know how dope DC is. Yeah. So,
and you're one of the few people from the Baltimore arena where they'll forget you that you out in Baltimore. They think you strictly here.
Yo, absolutely, 100%, absolutely, man. It's crazy just because I'm able to move. It's only, it's really, I would say, people that fully move like fluently through Baltimore and DC. It's probably only me and Flo that really move fluently through DC, like in Baltimore. Like, of course, you got Quick, you got DJ Reds, but people that actually like that be outside in Baltimore and DC that can really curate the event in Baltimore and DC, like it's I can count on one hand. It's me, Flo. I can't think of who else, to be honest with you. Like, I know H. Franklin come down here and do a party, Larry can come down here and do a party, but I feel like it'd be the Baltimore people that's coming down. And that's the thing, the DC people won't go up. DC people won't go up to Baltimore for nothing. They, like, it's a lot to get them to come up. Mm-hmm. Baltimore people will come down, DC people won't go up.
DC is very, I could just explain that as a DC native.
Like, nigga, I don't think I've ever seen you in Baltimore now I think about it.
I come. Don't get me wrong. I'll come to Baltimore. But it has to be, like, it got to be a plan for me to, because if I come out Baltimore, I need to come out there for the day. Like, I need to stop past and see people. Like, it has to be like a whole.
I've seen you come for, like, when we did stuff at DTLR. Yeah. Like, events like that. But if we just doing something at a club in Baltimore, you wouldn't. Yo, we just did an Air Max event, like, a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I think I can count on my hand how many DC people I invited came up. Like, Big and Bad came.
Did I get an invite? I don't know.
I don't know if you got an invite. Because in my head, I really was strategic looking. I'm like, who really gonna come to this shit?
But there's only certain people that'll make me, like, you're a person that I'll come to Baltimore for. Like, there's certain, but that also goes to the caliber of hard work you've put out there that people can trust. Like, if I'm going to Baltimore, it's gonna feel like I'm still in DC. Which is something you've also been able to captivate in Baltimore, is you've been able to create a world that still feels like DC too when you come to Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So for somebody like me that's like, I don't want to go to Baltimore, it's easy to now come because the experience it still matches up.
It's easy. It's easy to kind of just keep. And it's all just about the event that you curate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to be consistent with how you're doing it. Because I'm not really doing it for, let's say, a DC look or a Baltimore look, but I just want us industry and creators to be in a comfortable space where we would like-minded individuals and we can kind of all network and do what we got to do.
Facts. And when they got somebody like you spearheading, I think we're going to be in a much better place. Yeah. I do want to ask you this. When is the last time you've had that out-of-body experience where you're like, wow, this is really my life? Do you remember where you were and what you were doing?
Yeah. I was in LA, Grammy weekend. I was in my room. So what ended up happening, I was in LA this week I was in LA for a week for Grammys, right? But the first 3-4 days, I was scheduling meetings for DTLR. So me and my boss at DTLR, he was like, yo, look, should we take this trip? I was just like, I mean, we can. So he was like, all right, get some meetings on the schedule. We're going to go and kind of, let them know what we got going on, like let them know what's coming up, see how we can collab and reestablish some of these relationships. So I'm like, bet. So we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. meeting. Mind you, this is all me just setting up all these meetings. And he was like, what we got on Friday? I was like, we really ain't got nothing. I said, but everybody about to be outside. There's a bunch of events and parties going on. We on a bunch of lists for all the dope shit, all the fly shit. So he was like, all right, well, I'm leaving. So I was like, you gonna leave? I said, we about to see mad people. He was just like, I'm out. So I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'll leave too. So he was like, nah, I'll stay. These are your people. Let them know what we got going on. You know what I mean? Follow up with people and do your thing. Like, do what you gotta do. Let them know what's up. I'm like, all right, bet. So he flies back. So the first day I don't have to have him around is Friday. And I wake up and I got like missed calls and text messages like, yo, we gonna here today. We gonna be here today. We gonna be here. And like, I kind of just like cry in the bed, not the text messages, but like, it was a moment that, man, I knew coming back, I was making my KYS announcement. I knew I just completed all these meetings, and these are like my peers now. Like, I've been in these rooms with all these people, and the access I have it's a dream come true. To be able to do business with these people is a dream come true. To sit in the seat that I'm sitting in now kind of is a dream come true. And I just cried. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was deep because y'all bust my ass.
You did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I bust my ass. It's lonely sometimes, like, where you know, like, yeah, you missing birthdays and you missing niece and nephews growing up. You missing a lot of time with your family and shit like that. It's a lot of times where you ain't really getting support. People not clapping for you. It's all that type of shit.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, yeah, you've gotten to this point where it's like, damn, you've made it to that next level. And one of the biggest things for me, like a year or two ago, was, so for context, my 2025 was trash. Like, I know it might have looked good on Instagram. My 2025 was ass. A lot of blocks happened in 2025 for me. Like, and all I was trying to do was elevate. Like, my biggest thing is like, yo, I gotta find a way to elevate. And doors just kept getting slammed in my face. And it just kept being people that just wasn't believing in me or my capabilities. And they was almost telling me to my face, like, yeah, I know you can do it, but I'm not letting you do it. You know, it was a lot of that shit happening. 2025 was ugly. And it was heartbreaking because I know I can do the work. I know I've done my part to show support and love to others. Yeah. So it's just like, damn, when shit like that happening, it hurt to a certain extent. But you asked to be here. Like, nobody said, hey, come do this. So at the same time, like, nobody got to do shit for you.
Facts.
So that day in the room, it was that Friday morning, man. I woke up. Boss was like, he flew back. And I'm just like, damn, I'm out here. And I'm looking at all the events I got to go to that's left. Everybody hitting me. And the people, the level of the people that's hitting me is just like, damn, like, I'm really in this shit. Like, I'm really, really, really in this shit. Like, even, I just was in Atlanta. I just got back yesterday. And I fucking had to meet with Sean Byrne. And Sean Byrne is, when I say Sean Byrne is on fire right now, him and Ty Dolla $ign partner. They got a company, Easy Money. They manage Leon Thomas. Leon Thomas is signed to them, actually. So they got Leon Thomas, Busy Crooks, RJ the Weirdo, but like, Sean Byrne is like, that Grammy weekend was like, every party they threw was that. And it was just a big celebration. But I hit him and I was like, yo, I'm trying to go in your schedule. And he was just like, my nigga, pull up. And just to know, like, I got access and that's somebody that take me serious and like, half niggas don't even know who he is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's wins like that for me. That's like, yo, I've arrived. I did it. But now the real work starts because you got to put some numbers on the board.
Which that's gonna be easy for you. This is what you do. I do want to ask too, though. What does this Fadam today say to the Fadam that was interning at Unruly?
Be patient, my nigga. Be patient. Be patient. Your time gonna come. And do whatever role on the team that you got. Do that. Like, play your role on the team to get the win. Like, because they gonna know what your role was. So play your role. So part of that even played back into when I came back to DTLR years later, because it was like I was helping with social media, I was helping with blogging. It was like whatever I had to do to help the team, it was just like, I would just do that. Yeah, so I would definitely tell myself from that was interning, be patient. Be patient. Like, you gonna get your time. I literally just put that post up a couple days ago when I was in Atlanta. I literally posted, I was just like, man, the right person believing in you at the right time can change your life. So I'm telling everybody, just be patient. Like, your time is gonna come.
I hope y'all are really writing that down, cause it's so, you know how it sounds so cliche, but it's like really true.
This shit is true. And I hate that it sounds cliche, but I'm telling you it's true. Because even with my position now at DTLR, like, the man that's asking the things he's asking of me, he believes in me. You know, like, he's kind of watched me, and he like, I think this guy got something. And it was a guy in that seat before him that also believed in me, that was just like, yo, he got something. Now, he didn't necessarily put me in the same position this guy did, but he also said it to me like, yo, you got some special shit going on with you. Because, like, I know how to move in this game. Like, I know, like, yo, alignment is real. You know, alignment is super real. And if you trying to get to the top, like, with a real money at, with a real decision maker, with a real power at, you got to move a certain way. If you just trying to be a local superstar and you want to get in the club free, you can do that shit too. That ain't my calling though. It ain't. I'd care less.
And so another world too that I want to get your take on, because of course we know we see you everywhere doing everything, but it's another world that we don't talk about. That's another add on to what we're doing, going viral. How do you deal with those viral moments where now your message could be anchored in so many different ways versus what the actual intention was?
So the viral shit, it is what it is, right? One thing I'll say about the going viral shit is literally, your going viral is one of the most overrated experiences ever. Like, I remember the first time I ever went viral was 2018. Me and Rez interviewed Jay Prince, and we asked him about the beef with Drake and Pusha, and that shit went viral, right? It was June 3rd, or June 1st or 2nd, 2018, and that shit was on every it was on TMZ. TMZ, Sports Center, it was everywhere. Adidas and Mero, that shit was everywhere. Now, fast forward, when you talk about going viral for the Nicki shit, it's like, you just gotta be patient and wait it out. Because, yeah, it went left. Because at first it was going viral for good shit. Then it went left. But you kind of just gotta wait it out. It's not gonna last forever. Like, they're gonna be on to something in the next, give it 48 hours. 48 hours is over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people love that viral shit, but it's absolutely one of the most overrated experiences ever. Like, you want to do numbers. Yeah. I get the wanting to do numbers part. The viral shit, though, I can promise you, that shit really comes and goes so fast. Like, now, the good thing about the viral thing is, from the first time we went viral, I ended up meeting a lot of publicists through that I still got a relationship with to this day. Yeah. It puts new eyes on you. So that's always a good thing. But now we're in a world where so many people go viral. It's just like, who do you look at? Who do you take serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. So, I don't know. You give it 48 hours, though. Just, that viral shit, it goes. 48 hours, and they on to something different. When that whole viral thing is happening, if it's bad, the best thing you can do for yourself is shut the fuck up.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah. If you go viral with something bad, there's no point in trying to defend yourself to a bunch of people on the internet that don't know you or what their intent was. Just shut the fuck up. Let them talk to themselves. Let them say what they want. Try not to look at the comments. I ain't really looking at no comments like that. I looked at comments one day, and I seen niggas in there that I knew or that knew me, and it was just like, nigga, you talking? Like, are you serious? Like, nigga, you know
You
me.
got the nerve?
Yeah, so it was some niggas I had to say, like, my nigga, go ask your niggas who I am, my nigga, like, then say what you say again, nigga. Like, them niggas gonna look at you like you fucking crazy.
Facts.
But other than that, man, you just kind of ignore all of it. Just live your life. 48 hours, this shit will be over.
Hey. So, Fadam got the juice. We are seeing the success. You are living the success. You are owning the success. What have you learned about yourself thus far?
I'm smarter than I thought. To be able to do this shit and to get to where I've gotten to, it takes a certain level of strategy, a certain level of determination, a certain level of wit. And I have that shit. You know, like right now, I was talking to my man Gio the other day, and I was just like, I'm in that space finally in my life where I'm still humble, but I fully know who I am and what I'm capable of. Like, I know who I am, what I'm capable of, and what I can actually do. Like, and what's my purpose. It was always one of them things where I would doubt myself a lot. I didn't know if I could do some shit, or I wasn't fully confident. Right now, I'm not overconfident, but I know, like, I'm one of them guys. Like, I never felt that way. I always felt like, for the last 9-10 years, I felt like I was still working my way and trying to do this thing that we're doing. But finally getting to the point I am now, it's like, I'm one of them.
You're definitely
like,
one of them.
I'm in that mix. I'm official. It ain't a phone call I can't make. It ain't a play I can't make. It ain't. It's not too much I can't do.
Yeah.
You know. So finally knowing that and realizing your power, like, it's dope. But it's also important to not abuse it. You know, not abuse it. And I still got a lot of youngins under me, so that I'm trying to teach this game to. I'm trying to bring them up. You know, so like, while you go up the ladder, man, it's tough, but lift up. While you go up the ladder, lift up. So I give a lot of love and gratitude to some people that's come behind me. Like, I love the girls that's out here, man. I love the girls eat too, Paris.
Yes.
Her, my girl Nora Blake Smith. I love Nora.
Love Nora.
Tammy, Exo Lil Pixie. I love Tammy. Summer Hill.
Yes.
I think Summer's a fucking superstar. Summer is fucking amazing. So just looking at a lot of those, Lil Sean in Baltimore, moment of spotlight, he's dope. There's a lot of people I'm watching.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people I'm watching. I pay attention to, like, who doing dope content. And I try to engage with it.
Yeah.
If that shit come on my timeline, I'm gonna put that shit in my story.
And you probably don't know how good that feels for them to even hear that too, because you've become, like, I promise you, I don't know if you're told this often, which you should be told more, but you're cemented into culture now. So when things are going on in the DMV period, your input is needed, and your structure is needed to have, like, so, and then coming in this industry too, as media prints, you hear about Fadam one way or another. That's kudos to the great work that you're doing, though, and it's dope to see when you hear about people, and then you also get to see this keep going. Like, you get to see this.
For sure.
It's like, it makes sense, and it's like, and you get me. That's what I'm saying. I get excited when I see your work and where you're going with it, because it's showing that great work ethic and sticking to it and being consistent. It will work.
It will work. Yeah, you definitely just gotta stick to it. And man, when you can, man, just keep a positive attitude. Like, just know, listen, it's some niggas, and you're gonna have to outwork these niggas. Like, don't get it twisted. You're gonna have to outwork these niggas.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to outwork these niggas. I tell my shooters that, other hosts that, like, yo, you're gonna have to outwork these niggas. You know what I mean? Like, me and Kyle, like, I love Kyle on the mic, right? Yo, Kyle is super dope, and we host together. I know I can't outwork that nigga. Can't even try. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta let Kyle do his thing. But I know where Kyle shines. And I ain't afraid to let that nigga be a star on that stage. It's just like, yo, you gotta let, and I'm not afraid to give him his love and props on that stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that nigga's a star. Let him, that nigga can dance, sing, all that. Like, handsome fella, they like him. Like, and he not a creep. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, go ahead and rock out. Like, Kyle going to be like a Ryan Seacrest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's definitely one of those people that makes me really proud. And I tell people all the time, the fellas in this media space right now, these are some top tier guys to like really see who was really anchoring.
Who else out there? Who else out there? I remember y'all had started this Gentlemen of the DMV media shit. I remember seeing that shit, and I was like, who are these niggas? who was on there? I remember it was you.
DMV Hoods and News, Elway, DMV Daily, Jukebox DC.
I know Jukebox. I knew DMV Daily. I like them. Hoods and News. And I like him.
The Washington Informer.
I don't know them.
They're one of the top newspapers, but they also hold like a lot of like DC culture, black culture.
I got you.
So they're like,
are y'all still active with this shit? Okay.
So
I mean, I think I've seen it like 2 years ago or something.
yeah, but we on the Sunday. It's gonna be something I want to talk to you about too.
All right.
But no, when I talk about, because we also see what the women can do in this industry. We see that all the time. We know the women can come take over very easy. But when you see the fellas really like cement themselves in this and really take it forward, it's exciting. So when I see Fadam, when I see Kyle, when I see the dudes from the NAR magazine, when I see the guy from Tiny Desk, when I see like the guys are anchoring this media message at a very whole new frame that wasn't always the case here. We've always seen the women run this media world here. This is a space where I'm seeing the fellas run the media game here.
I feel like it's always been the fellas.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think far as from a DJ radio perspective, but like overall media, it's been a women's thing. Now the pendulum is switched to it's the fellas that's anchoring in all areas of it.
You had Bacon, you had Angie, you had Autumn Joy, Deja, you had, who I'm missing?
Olivia Fox. It's so many more too.
It is.
And it's just, I would hear them growing up here. You would hear the women, the illustrious women. Now,
but I feel like you had way more men. You had Two-Face, you had Malik, you had Quick, you had Flex, you had, I know I'm forgetting some people. I feel like it was always way more men.
Yeah, but they wasn't in the forefront. They were more so of the DJs that's the hot DJs or the hot product.
Got you.
Now it's like I can listen to the guy on the radio. I can also see him on the TV now. I can also see him like I'm shopping. That's him talking. Like I'm here. So like as a little boy growing up now, you hear yourself more often than you would hear the other side.
I got you.
So you're part of that too. That new tier of they can see it.
You know what's crazy, because we're taught it was a thing, and this is to your point, where because they didn't want men to talk. Like men weren't supposed to do the talking. It was like if you talk as a man, you was a chatty patty. You know what I mean? It was almost looked down as a man if you talked. It was just like y'all men talk too much. But now it is more acceptable for men to have a voice and to speak. So yeah, I got you.
And you're part of the forefront of culture, so it makes sense to have the guy in the forefront of culture to emphasize the message. But this is the part of the interview that I'm very excited about. Before I let you go, I get to play my famous either or game.
Okay.
With you,
Let's go.
You are the beacon of the music industry.
Let's go.
So I'm going to give you two hip hop legends. The person you say stays.
Okay.
The person you don't say never existed.
Okay.
And for you, I'm going to give you 3 juice passes.
Okay.
After that, you got to kill somebody off.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Oh, damn, he answered that easy.
That shit's easy.
Jay-Z.
Tupac was a fucking contradiction. That nigga was a character. He never got out of being Bishop.
Okay.
Yeah, dumbass nigga.
Okay. This is why I was so excited to get his answers. All right, Jay-Z or Nas?
Hove, Jay-Z.
Okay. And
Although Ether was better than the other, he won the diss battle, but he didn't win the war.
got you. Okay. Eminem or J. Cole?
Cole, easy.
Okay.
Eminem rapped about nothing. Like Eminem music aged so terribly. And who's right? Like, it was always a thing of like if Eminem was black, he'd be cannabis, and I believe that.
Okay.
Yeah, he could rap, but it was just like he was literally rapping about nothing. Or he rapped about his mother. I'm good off him.
Okay. T.I. or Ludacris?
Shit. That's a tough one. Because I'm closer to the Harris family, I'm interviewing Damani tomorrow, actually. T.I.
T.I. stays.
Yep,
Okay.
T.I. stays.
Okay. 2 Chainz or Future?
Ooh. That's tough. I wasn't a big Atlanta nigga. I will say that. Like, I hated, being originally from New York, I hated when Atlanta, like, became this big thing. Mm-hmm. And I thought all that shit was trash. But as you can see, I was dead wrong. Everything. And you say Future or who? 2 Chainz? Mm-hmm. Shit.
Remember you got passes, too.
Juice pass on that one.
Okay.
You can't pick between them.
Okay.
And 2 Chainz, them both my niggas, so.
Okay. Let's see if he could pass this one. Lil Wayne or Kanye West?
Yay.
Yay? Okay.
Yeah, without Ye, we don't get a lot of shit that we have today.
Okay.
Like, and I ain't just talking about just the actual music. Music doesn't change if not for Kanye West.
Okay.
Or fashion. Shit, look at this.
Okay.
Like, nigga, I remember when Kanye started doing that hoes and clothes, I thought, nigga, y'all are dumb wearing that. Y'all like bums and all this, and now look at us. Especially me. I'm ashamed of myself sometimes. For real, I used to dress like media prints all the time. And eventually I had to change what I was wearing.
I got you. Would Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Drake. That's not even. I'm the person you can't ask that question to. Like, Drake is over everybody.
Okay.
Like, I'm picking Drake over my mother.
Jeez.
Yeah, Drake goes above a lot for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm an OVO ass nigga. Yeah, listen, Drake all day. I don't care. Listen, we lost the battle. We did lose the battle. I'm not afraid to admit that. If Drake sees this, we did lose the battle, but we didn't lose the war.
Okay.
You know, Drake still reigns supreme.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's do one more for the fellas. Common or Andre 3000?
That's a tough one. Ooh, that's a tough one. I might have to juice past that only because, one, they share a baby mother, right? Or
I think they both
of them had Erykah Badu.
They both had fun with a woman.
Both of them had Erykah Badu, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's number one. But Andre 3000 gave us a classic album, like Diamond, but so did Common with B. And Common got a lot of bodies. Like, just because Common, you got to respect his body at work. Like, he didn't ran through some chicks. I think Common has an underrated list of bodies that nobody really talks about. And he breaks up with all of them. It's a clean slate. You don't hear nobody dragging his name after that. I don't know if he go NDA style or what. But Common, dog, if you go look at it, dog, Common had some work. And nobody ever talks about this. Common is like Future on the low. But nobody never talks about it. Just because it's like the corporate side of Future. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. I never even thought about it like that, but you right. And you're going to have a lot of people researching that like, damn.
Common got somebody, go through Common history of chicks he been with and knocked down. Angela Rao on there, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. Is he still with Jill Scott?
He with Jennifer Hudson now.
Jennifer Hudson. Wait, was he with Jill Scott ever?
He could have been.
I think he was with Jill Scott. Common got some work. I'm telling y'all. Go Google that. Common had some joints.
All right, let's do the ladies. Little Kim or Trina?
Kim.
Okay. Remy Ma or Nicki Minaj?
Nicki.
Okay. Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion?
Cardi. Okay. Although I love Meg. Nah, Juice past that.
Okay.
Only because I fuck with Meg.
That's his third pass shot. He don't got no more.
Me and Meg went viral.
Yeah.
And I rock with her manager, T Ferris. That's my nigga.
Hey.
When I got into this whole grabbing the artist thing, I hit T Ferris, and he replied right back to me, gave me advice, told me what to do. So, salute. But Megan, and I think Megan just get a bad rap, man. So, and Cardi still got me blocked too. So,
Eve or Foxy Brown?
I just seen Eve in person at Grammy Week. Eve, okay. Because god damn, that woman's gorgeous.
Ain't she though? All right, Doja Cat or Doechii?
Shit, they like the same person. That's tough. I interviewed both of them. Both of them gave me a really good interview. Both are really cool. Both make dope fucking music. Both are super fucking talented.
And both can perform like shit.
Both can perform like shit. You say one of them gotta go?
Mm-hmm. And you done already used up all your juice passes.
Damn, that's tough. Doja Cat? Damn, that's tough. I'm gonna pick Doechii just because she a chocolate beautiful woman.
Okay, Doechii stays. Let's do one more for the ladies. Missy Elliott or Left Eye?
Missy.
Hey.
R.I.P. Left Eye. Missy for sure though.
Missy, hey. He did great, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Fadam Got Da Juice. Where can they follow you? Where they can find you at?
Man,
if they don't already know, which they should know.
If you're looking for me, I'm outside. I don't be outside. But Fadam Got Da Juice 2 on IG. Fadam Got Da Juice on TikTok. Fadam Got Da Juice on Twitter. Those are the three. And if you know my real name, I'm on Facebook too. I'm super active on Facebook. Facebook is where I can just talk like a regular ass person because there's not really a bunch of industry shit going on over there. So that's cool. But other than that, man, I'm outside. I do consultations.
Hey.
I'm not big on it because once again, I'm not the person that's just trying to take your money. And I know a lot of y'all don't really have the money. And I know a lot of y'all don't understand how this shit works. Mm-hmm. So you're not about to pay me for something and then feel like you didn't get nothing out of it. And I gave you all the game in the world. So,
hey.
Yeah.
What's one nugget we can leave off with?
Show genuine love, man. Show love, get love. That's bottom line. Show genuine love, get love. And if you're trying to really build a relationship with somebody, find out what they care about and then make that some shit you care about.
Well, I thank you so much, brother, for speaking
Appreciate
with me.
you for having me, G.
Hey.
Yep.
Shot by MOB, Media Prince, Conversations with the Media Prince. We out.